trees, all kind of stuff growing around there. Chickens, the exact same thing. I like those things. It's like the country to me. But I can tell when things are arranged. Maybe I can't tell why they're arranged, but I can tell what's arranged. So if I'm going to get something and we just stop by, and who's there, just happen to be there at the meeting, and who's there, It's arranged. It's arranged. It's nice, but it's still arranged. You can tell what an arranged meeting is. And you can tell who the arrangers are. And you could tell, like a long time ago, I told a group of people that all of the African-American Shias that I had known I considered, this is in Dallas, what might have been Houston, Dallas, one of them, that they were government agents or had that behavior, whether it was Hashim, Alauddin, come through. I already knew all of them. I knew who I was talking about. But you know what I didn't tell them? I didn't tell them that the Sunnis was the same way. Everybody I met had the same behavior pattern. And so maybe they thought I was just talking about them. So no, I ain't talking about just them. I'm talking about the Islamic movement in North America and the behavior patterns of people surrounding that movement. So a nice guy was here the other day, and I laid out the little legal stuff. So says he, of course I knew who he was. He come here, whacking nut, the big hat wearing people. And everybody knows that whacking nut is, the first step into becoming CIA. Well, that's what they say on the internet. They probably lying. But their behavior shows that, and they become a lawyer. And we have certain things that we have done to build our case the way we want it. But we want to listen. And if they tell us, well, you got a good case, people will take your case after just seeing 10% of the stuff. But you have to separate it from the banking, they'll take that. But you got to get people that know how to do that, those people that have, they're big, wealthy organizations that can stand to fight the bank. Because the bank can hold you up for a long time. They got big money. So I was just talking, but I just said, sure, we'll try that. But we're not going to do that. We arranged this case got the way we got it based on what we did over all these years. We trapped the government. You think we're going to turn this case over to a bunch of, just to win a case, a bunch of guys that only care about money? All they want out of it is money. And then they'll take the case if they get 1/3 of the money. You think we're going to live through all of this? I'd rather not have a dime and get the point out. We're going to get our point out. But we listen to everybody because we love everybody. And we take counsel too. But we know how we got here. And we're not going to hand it over to nobody that all they want out of it is a little money. Or a lot of money. And then there were certain things that were said. You have to do that because if you show people this, that, and another, they'll either think you're crazy or they'll da-da-da-da. Well, if anybody sees the things that we got the way they lined up and they think that it's crazy, well, that's fine for them. But it ain't fine for us. Because one beautiful thing about it, we have been recording adjusting. So we have archives, we have chronicles. This stuff has been done correctly. They have made a mistake, not us. And we got our cars out there. The poor little Volkswagen sitting there 100 years. Forest Auto, we told them you could give us $25,000 and then fix everything and then call it a day. Haven't heard a word from them. Okay, so we'll just crank back up again. We don't forget none of this stuff. You know what I mean? You're not forgetting that. We just do it and see what happens. Give everybody time. Project management. How can I forget? I write everything down. Plus regular review. Well, that's true. See, here's the thing. Boss man never had to deal, our situation as a whole. We decided to do this, but we had had years of experience before. You could see in 71, 72, 73, and all that, 73, when we tried to challenge the government in those days, based on, you know, what we had then. Okay, they just tore the case up and they almost make fun of you, but you gotta be able to, hey, it's all right. You gotta be able to get laughed at by the government, and okay, that's fine, that's fine. But the next time you come, you have everything in order. And they always say have a paper trail. Imagine a paper trail of years and years and years of them doing certain things, and you filing a report, and they send you a report according to our behavior. We feel according to section 1, 2, 3, 4, we will correct and we handle all the property correctly. And I already told them, well, I had $10,000, actually 11, in the Masjid, and when y'all took me to jail and didn't give me a chance to go back in there. And then the dummies forget that they have, by those years, they had already had all the stuff on the body cam, right? And I'm telling the guy, yeah, man, da-da-da-da-da. And they got it so bad in the last few years, I don't know whether he was trying to help me with it, like what they'd stick it up in the window. I said, well, what is that you just put there? It's a recorder. So I get to talking to the thing all the time. I'm talking to the thing. Hey, man, that's my property up there. I just brought that property from D.C., and it has all my cases, and it has 3 sections in it, da-da-da-da-da, and they give it to Mukhtar. It's okay. It's perfectly all right. But anyway, now, what we have is, right now, the white folks say it all the time, is deck chair arrangers, you know. They call it arranging the deck chairs on the Titanic. This is what everybody's doing now. This is what it looks like. Everybody going through their thing. The USS Titanic is going down. Like the stuff just said about, what's the name? About Don said that
Osama bin Laden.
Osama bin Laden. All that was a fraud. Well, part of that was a fraud, but we said that years ago. Then we going about our business. Okay, the Zionists are knowingly eating away at America's credibility. You remember in the Bible when it talked about the fall of Babylon? Babylon the Great has fallen in one day. It's not one physical day. But when you look back on this period, or this year, 2020, Babylon the Great, everything that could happen to a system, it happened during this, well, it's been happening all the time. But everybody's looking at America like, man, what's going on over there? Like, you ever see any of the program, What America Looks Like Abroad? everybody's saying, man, that's big boss man. Boss man is blowing it. Why is boss man doing that? Okay. The Zionists, I know we talk about this every week, but the Zionists, and I'll pass it as quickly as possible, have to weaken America to where they can use it. America has to be weak so that the Zionists, who were in a weak period themselves, would be stronger and more organized in America. That way they could use America to fight its wars and to do America is domesticated by the Zionists so that America will serve the purpose of the Israelis. That's the whole purpose. And a lot of this stuff that dribbles out week after week after week, it hurts America's image, not Israeli image. It makes America look bad, not Israelis look bad, right? People lose confidence in America, and you know, soon they're going to lose confidence in the dollar. When they lose confidence in the dollar, the things that's being done to America, oh, we can't count on that election. Well, the reason people send money here, all their money to America, is because they can count on those orderly transitions, right? They can't count on it in their country, so they send all their money from where they are, Latin America, Africa, send it all here and invest it here because it's a standard good investment. You can count on it. But what about when you can't count on a legal or orderly transition of power? That's what happened in banana republics. The tanks are out on the street. People lose confidence in the system. You put sanctions on everybody so you make all of them work together. You force them to work together, right? So they force Venezuela, they force Iran, they force China, even they got Russia. Look who they just say, boop, flip a coin, we're sanctioning you, Russia. Yeah, we don't like you, said something to somebody they don't like. And then they just say, we're blaming this on you, Russia. They said, what proof do you have? Hell, who needs any proof? You're sanctioned. Okay? And they threaten all their white friends. If y'all do anything with them, well, that's it. Okay, nobody can trade with America because America's stuff costs too much, right? What are they going to do with it? Eat it all themselves? They're going to buy stuff from China. And eventually Africa and everywhere else. But they're not going to buy it from here. There's too much money. Right? And then they're forced. This is what happens. When the systems start going down, everything snowballs and everything feeds to its decline. And when it go poof, it looks like it happened all of a sudden. It's all been happening over and over again. Okay. It's our job to have America and the American people ready. We don't want them to fall. We want to rescue them. Think about it. If the Muslims want to be, the poor Muslims, if they want to be liked by Americans, we'll help them out with this. Help them through this period. Right? Help them through this period. They will love you to death. Whatever it is, they're not doing it right. They teach martial arts out there at whatever that place is. I've been out there, I see them teaching martial arts at the center that has Adam Center. They teaching good martial arts. But the kids run away and left the girl and get killed by one Latino brother. Right? What the hell are they teaching? They're teaching physical martial arts, but they're not working on their mind. To tell them, you Muslim man, you stand your ground. You don't let the little girl stay by herself and they kill her. Right? And you know martial arts? What's wrong with y'all? Right? They are not being taught properly.
And then all the guys are suffering from some mental issues because they on suicide watch because they feel guilty for doing that.
Of course they ought to go on and do it. Ain't no sense of instead of being on the watch, just go on and get rid of yourself. To solve the problem, right? Problem solved. Ain't no sense of work. Right, solve the problem. Just go and get rid of yourself. You let men are the protectors and maintainers of women. Kalam. That's what we do. That's what we do. Okay, they didn't do it. Okay, let's don't. So anyway, the deck chairs, let's get back to the deck chairs on the Titanic. The iceberg has been struck, and it's been struck, the scientists say if they would have ran directly into the iceberg, then the ship could have stayed afloat, because they would have ran directly into it. But they said they tried to turn and it ripped the whole side, all the way down. And that's what brought the ship down. Because if they'd have hit it directly, they could have closed it. That was one of the first ships that they could close off, isolate, compartmentalize everything. So they're arranging the deck chairs on the Titanic. That's what everybody's doing now. Boss man, all of them. They run around the decorations. Let's fix this. Let's do this. Yeah. Nobody's talking about fixing the climate. Fixing the climate. We got to fix it. Okay, that's what's needed now. A group of people and that's who we're going to be involved with in these years to come. All these people. Within a very close period of time. And we knew it all the time. You could read articles from 12, 15 years ago that said our closest allies, we shouldn't have said it like that, would be tree huggers and all that. Yeah. Well, that's what like tree huggers. Environmentalists. System will have to assist in its own salvation.
What's interesting is as you're talking about the Titanic hitting the iceberg, as that stuff melts, the only thing they're worried about is a way to sail through there for economic reasons. It's like they don't even care. They wanted to melt so they can have a gateway to do.
That is so sickening. Yeah, forget about the Arctic is the last pristine area in the world. Pristine not behind. Let's get up there and knock it over. If everything else is dirty, let's get the whole show. This is greed and insanity. Greed and insanity, we have to protect. If you gain freedom, you have to protect your freedom. Okay, the world is going a certain way because we don't have charge of it. The people that have the money do. But with enough unity and harmony, we can restructure ourselves to solve those problems because we got them outnumbered. But what we're talking about now is organizing specifically to rescue the economy of the world. See, there's no reason for all of this hunger. There's no reason for people to be homeless. And the human being is better than animals. You know what I mean? The human being is better, but He got to be rose up to consciousness and above in order for him to act on that level. That's what we want to assist in. There's nothing wrong with it. You know, the Negro got a soft spot in his heart. He always has, and that's the way it is. There's nothing you can do about it. And he forgives everybody but each other. What's the name? Talking about 1896. While we have followed, talking about immigration, we have followed you tearfully to the grave. Remember that? You're going to bring all the immigrants over here? Booker T, yeah. But he was true. Our people humming and singing and crying like, whoa, and serious. Right? He said, why would you bring us, them people over here? And we have followed you tearfully to the grave. Now, he was trying to get, he was half right, and the other smart people up there, none of them were totally, you know what I mean? They didn't have, you can't blame them because they're coming out of slavery. They're coming out of slavery. You said, shit, man, you gotta have sense. That's the way the talent of 10, they gotta have all this thing. What's name said, well, we don't want to threaten nobody. So we'll do like, especially, you look at the Latinos now, they do like Booker T did. They're doing all the work. Don't worry. When they get all the business, then they can change the prices and up. They used to be really cheap workers. That was a while back. You used to see them driving them, pushing them old trucks and cars now. Now they got big new trucks and big racks all on, right? So Booker T was partially right, but them people was coming out of slavery and a little power, you know what I mean? We got all those people to study. You know, we got Hubert Harrison and all them. So what's happening to us is nothing to do. Only thing is, he died at 27 years old, and we're going to probably die at 100, maybe. There's a chance of it. That means we got another 25, 27 years. As long as he lived, we might have that. So that's what we're planning for. Okay. Benefits of mongrelization of the human family. Well, mongrelization is mongrelization. Okay. I don't want to talk about this, but I will just a minute. If you hear the Klan and they're talking about you're going to have a mongrel race. Mixed race.